Barack Obama. Can you point to a circumstance in the Richard Daley political machine, like Sarah Palin went after Frank Murkowski, a living legend in Alaskan politics who was a U.S. Senator, sitting governor. He was corrupt like Ted Stevens, went after him in Alaska and beat him. Did Obama ever go against the Richard Daley political machine in Chicago?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. They own that guy. Daley owns Obama. He complains about how McCain votes with Bush 90% of the time. Obama is with Richard M. Daley 300% of the time. I mean, the guy is absolutely owned lock, stock, and barrel by the political machine in Chicago. And that is, you know, this is a part of his career that I believe has been seriously underexamined. And I tried very hard in the case against Barack Obama to explain exactly what a political machine is, how Chicago really works. Senator Obama will endorse anyone, no matter how crooked, any stooge of Mayor Daley, he will put his good name behind. Even when he was a popular U.S. Senator with enough political capital to do something about the corruption in Chicago, he didn't, because he would be working against his allies. You know, he doesn't work against people that Tony Rezko is raising money for, that Mayor Daley likes. When bipartisan reformers, liberals and conservatives, came together to try to end the corruption in Cook County, to throw out the Democratic machine boss, John Stroger, he would not get involved. He ended up endorsing John's son when he replaced him on the ballot, calling him a good progressive Democrat, which really upset the liberals in Chicago. See, the thing about Chicago, you have to understand, you have a one-party corrupt system in which it's not a question of Republicans and Democrats. It's a question of good government people, reformers, versus the machine people, the corrupt people. And Senator Obama will endorse anyone that Mayor Daley tells him to endorse. He will do anything Mayor Daley tells him to do. This has been the problem. He shows no independence. He's never stuck out his neck for, quote, change we can believe in. That slogan is a wholly imaginary idea in his political career.
It's kind of a joke.
Never.
For the last 3.5 years, he's been a powerful United States Senator from Illinois, specifically Chicago, the Hyde Park section in Chicago. And in the last 3.5 years, or the 8 years before that, what changes has he brought to the mean streets of South Chicago?
Well, I'll tell you what he's done. What he's done is he has passed and co-sponsored legislation to make Tony Rezko a millionaire. That's his biggest accomplishment in the city of Chicago.
How did he do that?
Well, there were 6 different bills that I go into, and in fact, you won't read about this anywhere else except in Chapter 11 of the case against Barack Obama. 6 bills that he helped push through. They gave special tax credits, special building subsidies, maintenance subsidies, and rent subsidies, exempted people like Rezko from local zoning laws in towns in the Chicagoland area. And there was even a bill that artificially increased demand for the kind of low-income slums that Rezko was building by about 7,000 to 10,000 units. And, you know, Rezko isn't the only one. Obama is surrounded by developers. They've funneled hundreds of thousands of dollars into his political campaigns over the years. And Rezko alone funneled $250,000 into his campaigns. This is what he does. He helps friends in government because he's not a reformer. He doesn't stand for change. Yeah, I mean, again, the most dramatic examples come when he goes ahead and there are reformers running in races, even liberal reformers, and he won't support them. He supports the Daley guys. He supports the guys that Rezko has raised money for, and that's what his career is characterized by.
And David Freddoso, isn't it well known in the city of Chicago because of the Tribune and the Sun-Times? This is well reported to their benefit in the city, but it's never gotten out. I'm watching tonight CBS's 60 Minutes did a softball interview with Barack Obama and asked softball questions, never asked anything about Rezko, about Wright, never asked anything about giving us some reform ideas you've implemented the past 10 or 12 years in politics, never asked about Michelle Obama getting a $200,000 raise from a Chicago hospital right after he became a U.S. Senator, and then he funneled back to that hospital millions of dollars in earmarks. There was no questions at all about this.
Nope, and you know, nobody asked him either about the grants he got for his private law client. There was a man who paid him $112,000 for legal work, and then Obama managed to get the guy's corporation Obama and his staff got them $320,000 in grants to put on ping pong tournaments. So if you invest in Obama, that's a triple return on your investment.
David Freddoso. when I watched intently the speech Thursday night of Barack Obama. I thought about a Britney Spears concert. I hearkened back to the manipulation of mass crowds at other rallies that I've seen in other countries, and I thought this guy is particularly manipulative. Were there two or three things in that speech Thursday night that you found particularly outrageous or hypocritical?
I mean, for one thing, when you talk about what your opponent's position is, generally you should at least state it correctly. I don't like the fact that McCain has been a perennial and strong supporter of increased federal fuel emission regulations, but that's one of the things Obama said that was simply false. He said that he's been there for 26 years and he said no to the. I mean, McCain was. That's completely false. McCain, together with John Kerry, proposed one of these bills in 2002. When I was there, I actually interviewed McCain about it at the time, and Obama just simply lied about McCain's record on that issue. I mean, that was one of many things. Then he also repeated the falsehood that he had thrown people off the welfare rolls in Illinois. He opposed welfare reform in Illinois. I mean, this is just the kind of thing that he's able to get away with these completely counterfactual statements, and no one in the mainstream media is willing to call him on it. It's quite disturbing, really, when you hear Chris Matthews and Keith Olbermann practically having I don't know what you want to call it, Obama-Rama or Obama. Whatever you want to say.
Well, they're basically self-satisfying themselves whenever they see his face. And Matthews admitted he is tingling up and down his legs.
Yeah. I don't even want to think about that. It's a little too gross.
Yeah,
to me,
I don't get it.
Really, he has so many cheerleaders in the mainstream media. Nobody wants to talk about, how at the beginning of like you were saying, the beginning of the Audacity of Hope, he basically gives a fictional false account of his first election about how he gave this speech about people coming together for the common good and setting aside their selfish interests, and he was elected because of that, when in fact, yes, he threw all of his opponents off the ballot by challenging their petition signatures and ran on the post. This is the other thing about Senator Obama related to that, is that he's never actually been in a tough, close election before. He lost an election when he ran for Congress in 2000, but he knew he was going to get killed from the beginning.
Bobby Rush was going to beat him in that thing, the congressman.
And he knew it. So, and in all of his other elections, either he threw all his opponents off the ballot, which he's not going to be able to do this time, or he didn't really have a real race. And so this is the first serious contested election Obama has ever had in his career. And if it's like the primaries, he might fade as it gets to the late stages.
That's what we're hoping. With David Freddoso, we have to run. The name of the book is The Case Against Barack Obama. And if you want writ and verse, if you want fact after fact after fact of the real Barack Obama that 60 Minutes tonight won't tell you, you got to read the book, The Case Against Barack Obama, because it's all right there for people to see. How's the book doing, by the way?
It's doing great. I debuted at number 5 on the New York Times bestseller list. I'm number 6 this week, but next week we're going up. We're going to go up. People need to know the truth about Senator Obama. I'll talk to anyone who will listen about what the real Obama is all about.
With David Freddoso, you are truly a great American.
Oh, thank you, Bill. You too.
God bless you, and good luck in Minnesota.
All right, take care. Thanks.